guys, I swear, I swear. I know what I'm doing, I swear. I forgot what I was doing.
I was having a grand old time over there, but then I saw a spider. We've had a bit of an unexpected turn of events. Hey friends, it's Melanie and welcome to today's video. I don't know if you can hear the rain pouring outside right now, but it is a very gloomy day. But personally, I love this weather to craft, and I have a really fun project that I'm working on. About a week ago, I started my second crochet blanket. I am filming a full project vlog on it, but I did want to introduce the project sooner because it's a very exciting one, and I don't think it's gonna be finished anytime soon. So I figured it was time to work on this project with you guys and share it with you. As always, if you have a craft or any other project you're working on, now's the time to pull it out. Let's get into crafting. And as always, let me know in the comments what you're up to during this video. All right, so right here and right here is all the contents of my blanket currently. So clearly I don't have very much done. This blanket uses Tunisian crochet for like the entire thing and cross stitch, which I've never done Tunisian crochet or cross stitched on crochet before. I haven't gotten to that part yet though. But this is my first time using, I believe it's called an Afghan hook. It took a little bit of learning, but I think I got it down pretty quickly, and it's nice because it works together pretty quickly, especially because I'm using a 7mm hook. But it is kind of interesting because the hook is so long that it feels like I'm using more finger muscle. But I love learning new things. I've seen Tunisian crochet everywhere. I just haven't really seen this style. I think I've seen something that looks more like a knit, and the way I'm doing it makes it look a little more like waffle knit. This is the blanket that I am making. I asked you guys in a poll a while ago which blanket I should make because I was stuck between two styles, and I was not very surprised that you guys chose this one. I actually had this one on my list for probably over 2 years. I just never knew if I was gonna get to it. Originally, I was going to just try to replicate it, and then I realized there was literally a pattern, and it's a vintage blanket pattern that I got on Etsy, so I'll link it down below. The pattern consists of two types of granny squares. One of them is a gingham square, and then the other one has a flower cross stitch on it, and I haven't gotten to that one yet. It's actually just a white granny square, and then you cross stitch the design on it. But so far, I've made 5 of these gingham squares. Oh my gosh, guys, these take a really, really long time to make, and I've been working on this blanket for like, I think only about a week. So I don't think that's that bad. I am expecting this project to take a really, really long time, hence why I want to start working on it with you guys to show you my progress. Otherwise, if I wait for a project video, it's gonna take forever. So last night I just started on my 6th granny square, and I think today we're just gonna keep on making these ones since I know how to do it. But since I mentioned it's so gloomy out, I don't know if you can hear the rain or anything. I kind of hope you can because it's really soothing. But since it's so rainy and gloomy out, I thought it would be such a vibe to pack up and go crochet at a cafe today. I want to choose something really cozy to wear to match today's very gloomy weather. So huge thank you to Quince for helping me out with that and for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Quince is your one-stop destination for all high-quality essentials across clothing, home decor, accessories, and all of it is at a very affordable price. You guys know I love a deal, so this is perfect for me. And I've also been trying to elevate my wardrobe to be higher quality capsule pieces that I'll wear for a long time, and I find that through Quince. They're able to bring all these high-end essentials into one place by working with their top-tier manufacturers and cutting out the middleman, which is what gives you the exceptional quality without the markup. So let's take a look at a couple of the outfit options we have for today. The second I tried these on, I knew these were gonna be my favorite pair of jeans in my entire wardrobe. Not only do they feel like amazing quality, but they're not stiff at all. Like, I don't know how they did it, but it's the perfect blend of being comfortable but also being thick. I also just think they're really flattering. I love the fit of this straight leg. To go with these jeans, I was thinking I could do a little knit cardigan moment. It's the perfect slouch. It's the perfect oversized. This is another option. This one's merino wool, and you can already tell how warm and nice quality it is. I also got these really nice linen pants. I feel like these are very timeless also. Especially like that they have belt loops. I've never seen that before on pants like this. This is just like the perfect staple sweater. They're 100% cotton sweaters also. I'm just a huge fan of. This sweater is also made out of their 100% organic cotton, but it is a much thicker knit than the last one. I just adore the shape and fit of this. So we have a lot of options to choose from today. All right, guys, I think this is the outfit we're gonna be settling on for our cozy cafe day. I'm sticking with this sweater because I absolutely love it. And of course, I'm wearing these jeans as well. Oh my gosh, I just love them so much. So if you want to check out any of these pieces or check out more of Quince's high quality product, you can click my QR code here and check them out. They also offer 365 days of free shipping and returns, which is amazing. So make sure to check Quince out. All right, guys, let's pack up and I'll see you at the cafe.
Hello, we made it to our cafe. Not gonna lie, guys, part of the reason that I wanted to go to a cafe, other than the fact that it's so gloomy out, is because I made a investment. I don't know why it took me so long, but I finally got a mic. It was much needed. It was also so rainy out. When I ran in from the car, I had to use this to protect my head because it's actually pouring, but it reminds me of Seattle, so it's kind of nice. I ordered a fig latte, which I've never had before, so let's give it a little try. It doesn't really taste like fig, but it's really good, and I like the cup. So cheers. Let's pull out our crochet. It's funny because when I started this project, I told myself, like, I'm never gonna work on this blanket out in public or like even bring it over to anyone's place to work on it because it's so much stuff. Like, these balls of yarn are kind of chunky, especially because I'm using this really big white one in this like baby blanket yarn. But I guess things change once the rain comes out. It also just feels like kind of too much because the hook itself is so big. I feel like I mean, obviously I found a whole couch to myself at this cafe, but if I brought this anywhere else, I feel like I'd be low-key poking people, so. But I think once I made 5 of these squares, I got the hang of it. And then I was like, okay, I don't need to focus as much anymore, so we can do this in public now. So here's the thing about this blanket, guys. I know making a blanket takes a really long time, but silly little me thought that I would time how long it took me altogether to make this blanket. Spoiler, I already stopped timing it because it was too depressing to look at. Honestly, I think it just kind of took the fun out of crocheting because in general, I feel like I like to do this kind of just as I do other things or in between activities to kind of unwind. But when I was timing it, I was like, no way, because it takes over 2.5 hours to make the gingham granny square. So I'm sure the flower one is gonna take even longer, 2.5 hours. And then get this, I have to make 24 of those and 24 of the flower ones. So long story short, making a blanket is a lot of work, which, like, once again, I already knew. I did already know that, but then timing it really put it into perspective because I was like, wow, I crocheted for 3 hours today and all I made was a square. But then, like, look at the speed I'm going. It kind of makes sense. I go so slowly. And it's because I'm doing this crazy like maneuver so that there's no like strings hanging on the back. It's kind of like I'm weaving in the ends as I go. And there's probably a better way to do this, but I swear I tried to look it up and I couldn't find a better way to do it. So I'm improvising. Let me show you what I'm doing. Oh, this is a good angle. You can see it from the back. Basically, here, I'll undo it. There are these strings here, and like this string would be hanging, right? And so what I do is as I'm crocheting with the other color, I pull one loop normally, and then the next loop, if I were to pull it normally, I would just go like this in the front, but instead of doing that, I go under both this loop and this free string here. I pull it through that and then through here. And then I do a normal one. And then if you can see, it kind of, these darker yellow are what we're weaving in as we go. So I'm gonna do another one where I put it behind. And then I do another one where it's in front. And if you can kind of see, it's woven in back here. So doing all of this is, I think that slows it down kind of a lot. Maybe I'm just slow. Maybe that's the problem. Not that it's a problem, because it's not a race. It's really not a race. I need to remind myself that. I'm just thinking about how I feel like this project looks so chaotic, especially with my like tangled yarn everywhere. Oh my gosh, guys, you should see. This project has just been sprawled out on my couch for the past like week, and it's like 3 balls of yarn. They're all tangled. They're all just like laid out because I don't have enough will to like put it away at the end of the day because they keep getting tangled. And like I just keep switching colors and like picking it back up and working on it a little bit anyways. So I've just been like leaving it out, but it literally takes up a quarter of my couch and it just looks so chaotic. I shouldn't be self-conscious about this, but sometimes I feel like when I knit or crochet in public, it looks like I don't know what I'm doing. But this is one of those ones where I feel like people look at me and be like, oh my gosh, this is the first time that girl has ever picked up a hook. When I'm like, guys, I swear, I know what I'm doing, I swear. I think the other thing that slows me down a lot with this, specifically with the gingham square, is that I have to change the colors so frequently. And so it's a lot of like untangling the yarn and, you know, just picking up a new piece of yarn. Once again though, I should not be so worried about the speed of stuff. I really hope this mic is working and like sounding okay. Otherwise, I've just been yapping in the middle of this cafe for no reason, talking to myself. Let me know though if you guys like the mic. I've been having a lot of fun using it to film, and I do think it'll make it a lot better filming in public. I specifically decided that I needed to get a mic after, I think it was my last video, but in one of my last videos, I went to Michael's to film. Like they're always playing like crazy pop music, and you know, like it's always kind of busy there. And so I was like, you know what, I've been doing YouTube and then I've been doing social media for like 10 years. I don't know why I don't have a mic. Sometimes I think I get scared of using like new equipment, but this is one I definitely should have invested in a really long time ago. So let me know what you guys think of it. And if you want to see more knitting and crocheting in public and fun spots, or if you couldn't care less where I knit and crochet, that's fine too. I guess I'm kind of curious also, do you guys like to craft in public, or is your favorite place to craft in the comfort of your own home? Because I definitely get both. Like my favorite place to craft, the place I craft the most, is definitely on my couch, but I do love to get out and knit and crochet different places, especially when I'm traveling. I think it's really fun to have a project that you're either casting on, casting off, or just like working on during a trip, and then it's kind of like connected to a trip. I think it's so fun. I forgot I have coffee. This is pretty good. I know some people don't like the sound of mixing ice, but I don't understand how. I think it's so pretty. But maybe that's just because it's attached to coffee and I love coffee. I love the ice here. The shape of the ice makes such a big difference to me. I forgot what I was doing. Okay, I got it. At least I figured out about pulling from the center. If I was still pulling from the outside, this project would not be able to make it out of the house with me. I would be chasing my balls of yarn everywhere. It'd be even more tangled. I think I'm gonna listen to a podcast. I've been trying to listen to more stuff instead of just like watching TV, although I do love a good YouTube video. But obviously when I'm at a cafe, I'm not gonna pull out my iPad. I mean, I totally could. What am I saying? I totally would do that. But I think I'm going to listen to a podcast. I really want to get more consistent with listening to podcasts, but I just like can't stick to any of them. I don't know why. And personally, I feel like a lot of podcasters or podcasts I would listen to that were from like YouTubers would just like, they'd stop making them, like the middle medium-sized ones. So if you guys have any recommendations, leave them below, please. I also do have some books that I'm listening to, so I could definitely listen to those. Maybe I should listen to a book. My book update is that I'm still listening to 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. So I think I'll listen to a little of that. I'm actually 39% of the way done with this. This one's like really short chapters and they're little essays. They're kind of like number bullet point ones, which I really like, but you can only listen to so much of that. So I'll probably listen to a chapter or two. And then I'm also listening to Air of Fire, which I've been listening to for a really long time. So I need to get back into it because I think every time I take a break, the break just gets longer. And then I don't feel like listening to it because I don't remember what's going on. So I should listen to that. But I think I'm going to listen to 101 essays and then I will find a little podcast to listen to. I was having a grand old time over there, but then I saw a spider climb up on one of the little tables and it was done for me. I had to leave. But that's good because I actually did want to get some actual work done too. I pulled out my journal and I was reminded of the fact that I started a time log thinking I was going to time every single time that I worked on this blanket, and it was already bad on the first day because crocheted for 4.5 hours on that first day and I don't think I even made one square. And then after that, I only tracked 3 days, I guess, but I worked for probably like 2 hours on average every day and I did not get very much done. I think it was the right decision to take a break with that because, like, let me show you for reference. Look what a mess it is. I basically did 2 rows of squares and it took me like over an hour. So I'm gonna have to take a break now. I think I'll finish this square when I get home though. So let's get some actual work done. We've had a bit of an unexpected turn of events. Not that unexpected, but it's kind of late now. It's like about 9 p.m. My friend came over and the unexpected part is that we ended up crocheting for a really, really long time. She was just gonna come over and we're gonna have sweets and coffee, but I ended up teaching her how to crochet, which was really fun. I'm not a great teacher, which is funny because I literally make videos about knit and crochet kind of a lot, but she got it. She was doing really good. She was learning how to make a basic granny square for like a blanket, and I was working on my blanket too. This is the aftermath. But remember when I was saying like, I don't even know if I'm gonna finish my gingham granny square? Would you look at that? See, the thing is, since I timed how long it makes me to make a granny square, now all I can see is my hours, because this right here is like 4 hours of work, which yeah, I definitely spent more than 4 hours crocheting today. So I can't even be surprised, but we made one full one. That's looking lovely. And this one, we are on our 3rd row. So I'm probably gonna finish this one off tonight, but it is in fact 9 p.m., which is past my shower time. So I'm gonna wash up and get cozy first. And then we're probably gonna get back to crocheting. What a day.
much later, but would you look at that? I actually crocheted so much more than I thought I was going to today. I crocheted these 2 gingham granny squares today, which already makes up about 5 hours of work. And then I also started about this much, almost done with the first row of squares. So that was also an extra little bit, but it's not about the hours. I'm not tracking, but now that I did track, I can't get it out of my head. I'm pretty happy with my progress. I have been making these a lot quicker than I thought I was going to, but it's very late now. So I'm gonna end off this video, but thank you guys so much for joining me, for visiting a new cafe and spending this cozy rainy day together. Hope that you guys were able to get some work done on your project or whatever you were up to during this video. But other than that, I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.